This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me today here on this Wednesday morning in the middle of February. As always, it is very much appreciated, and I hope you are all doing well. What we've got coming up for you today is another Classic Watch 26 possible, I think, that is based currently and is racing in Australia. But before we start to take a look at the horse, where will people be able to find these horses? Well, they'll be able to find them on classicwatch26.great/site.net. The site up and running now, together with the Roll of Honour is already completed, although I haven't yet included the classics won by selected horses, Ole Dancer on Observer, on the list of victories yet. These were the victories that the horses had before they were identified on the site. You'll see that the three scenarios so far, we've got Australia, New Zealand and South Africa already on the site. Hopefully throughout the year we will be adding more arenas as classics start from other places around the world. But for now we're really focusing on Australia, New Zealand and South Africa where the website is concerned. I'll give a quick shout to the Patreon channel at the moment as well. Patreon channel, Patreon Newman Racing it's called. It's a little bit of everything really. There's not really much flat content on there. It is where you will find all the National Hunt content though. If you're interested in what I've got to say about National Hunt horses, then the Patreon is definitely the outlet for you. It's called Newman Racing over on Patreon. It gives you free content and it gives you some subscribed content as well as a shop that allows you to buy specific videos that I've made as well on specific things. So why not go over there and check it out, the Patreon, Newman Racing. But for now, it's all about this video, Classic Watch 26, the next horse on the list that I've decided that I was following. Impressed me when it won in November. It did, and we'll see that race at the end of the video. You know, the horse in question is Green Spaces. Green Spaces, a horse trained by Bjorn Baker out of his home farm of Warwick Farm. 3-year-old brown colt with so far career earnings of 200,200 Australian dollars. This horse sired by Street Boss out of a dam called Outdoor, who herself was sired by a legendary Australian stallion, Redoute's Choice. People see that the horse has had 6 runs and managed to win 3 of them, including his last 2 starts, the second start of which came in a Group 3 race, where the horse won the Spring Stakes at Newcastle over a mile. Funnily enough, the second year I've used this race in succession. You know, I used it for Snitson Over last year. You know, Snitson Over won the Spring Stakes last year for Classic Watch 24. So Classic Watch 25 having another go with the winner of the Spring Stakes this year. Green Spaces, owned by Godolphin and bred by Godolphin. It never won first time out, sadly. You know, the horse was beaten. They've got to go through the trials. It was 5th on debut at Moonee Valley over a distance of 1,200 metres. And then it had another couple of jump outs. Then managed to win at Geelong in a maiden plate on the 23rd of April 2025 before finishing 5th at Gosford in the Ortest Financial Handicap. So it looked to be one. It raced Chicama there, another one of my donkeys. I didn't notice it in that race, but it's very interesting that this horse really has took a massive step forward really from March, because in November it was contesting group races. Never really showed much there as well. It then won a benchmark handicap at Wyong, a benchmark of 64. And it won the brilliant Hager Omega Power Benchmark 64 handicap. And hardly the most illustrious race in Australia, that race. So we're not going to even bother looking at it. But then after that, it came out and won the Group 3 Spring Stakes, which what I thought was a good performance on the day. Nothing has persuaded me otherwise. And it'd be interesting to see if this horse is good enough over a mile. I don't think it'll stay much further than that. I wouldn't say this was a Derby horse. You know, if anything, it's related to some fast horses. We're going to take a look at them shortly. But the horse has got 2 Guineas entries, look. Although one of them is over 1,200 metres, I do think. Ranwick and Rose Hill. There's a couple of Guineas there. the horse might be targeted at in March and April. It'll be interesting to see how they campaign this horse. I'm hopefully the 27 odds that you're seeing there for the Hobartville Stakes, more of an indicator that the horse is not going to run as opposed to these chances, because that's a decent trial, that. But the horse we looked at the other day, Attica, also nominated for their Hobartville Stakes. I did say in that video that I had other horses from Godolphin I was looking at. This is it. Yeah, this is the horse I was referring to. So the horse seems a bit of a win or bust horse, doesn't it? The horse has never been placed in its career. Has won 3 of his 6 races. Last time out, Group 3 winner. So is there any more to come out of the horse? It'd be interesting to see if that is what is the case. Racing Post not really telling us much about the rating of the horse. The horse has raced 3 of 6 times. They are correct. But the Racing Post has chosen not to rate any of his races. So it's hard to really get a grasp of anything on the Racing Post, isn't it? You know, the entries are never done for Aussie racing, but I was hoping at least they might have rated the Spring Stakes, the Group 3, worth £69,000 held in November. But they've chosen not to, haven't they? Interesting horse, I think this is. It's related to a couple of old favourites of mine, without any shadow of a doubt. Take a look at the horse now on the Pedigree Online Thoroughbred database. You'll see everything is up to date there. Apart from the money, 198,800 Australian dollars, compared to the 200,200 that RaceNet thinks the horse has won. Whether it's a calculated issue, I don't know. Whether they just use a calculator, because it's an American site, this one. You'll see that it's up to date. The Group 3 Spring Stakes winner, over 1,600 metres in 2025. More importantly for us, though, the dam line of the horse is 19B. An interesting dam line, this. I can link a couple of cards into this video later on in it as well. We've looked at 19B. We even looked at it on Patreon as well. Yeah, some interesting horses on 19B. Stayers, I'd say, more than anything. But saying that, I did say this one wouldn't stay, and I do think I'm going to show you why shortly. Before we get to the dam of the horse, we need to look at my old mate, Trekkin, don't we? Trekkin was a gelding born in I think he's still alive. Is a gelding born in 2014, sired by Street Cry out of Outdoor. So this is a half-brother to our horse. Very closely related, because Street Cry is in fact the sire of Street Boss. So Trekkin managed to race 38 times in his career, 10 wins, 6 seconds and 7 thirds. 23 of 38 starts in the first 3 for race earnings of 5,100,000. So I never realised he won that much. 5,106,195 Australian dollars in his career. Absolute pleasure to watch this horse go round. It was. The horse a dual Group 1 winner of the Stradbroke Handicap over 7 furlongs and the Goodwood Handicap over 6 furlongs in 2019 and 2020. Horse also the winner of the Group 2 Schillaci Stakes, the Group 3 Hallmark Stakes, the Testarossa Stakes and the Luxin Star Stakes, listed races. Nothing at a mile though, look. Only 7 furlongs the furthest he went when he won the Stradbroke. I remember that night. Second in the Moya, second in the Manicato as well as second in another 2 Group 3 races. The horse was also third in the Kingsford Smiths Cup and third in another Moya in 2021. Third also in the Red Anchor Stakes and the Concord back in 2021 as well. Also third in the listed Rosebud in over 1,100 metres at Rosehill back in 2017. So this horse never really did it at pattern level over a mile. I don't even know if they've tried the horse over a mile or not. I've picked him up towards the end of his career and watched him scorch home in a few races. It really was a pleasure to watch him. A very fast horse, Trekkin was. Unfortunately, though, none of her relatives outdoor have reached that level up to this day. I should know. I've tried a few. To quote Monty Python, Plymstock's definitely one I've tried. A filly born in 2019, sired by Ribchester out of Outdoor. Up to this point, Plymstock had raced 6 times, 2 wins and 2 thirds, for career earnings of 206,350 Australian dollars. Up to this point, you'll see that she was placed in the listed Dalrello Stakes over 5 furlongs at Eagle Farm. But yeah, she was one that did fall short. I backed her a couple of times. She actually raced 8 times in her career up to this date. She's still showing a slight profit, though, if people have been bothered to watch her go round in these low-grade races. But me, I just don't watch them. But yeah, she has won a couple of races and was placed in a listed race. Currently earned 216,200 Australian dollars Plimstock. But yeah, I did chance her a couple of times early in her career, it's fair to say. Outdoor, the mare of the horse now, born in 2008, sired by Reduced Choice out of 7 Aid Rose. You'll see now we're at the dam of green spaces. Outdoor was an interesting horse. 14 starts in her life, 3 starts and 3 wins and 2 seconds. 5 out of 14 starts in the first 3. In the first 2, really, isn't it? For career earnings of 59,835 Australian dollars in her career. Outdoor was a winner over 1,300 and 1,400 metres, but she didn't manage any black type form at all. But she was a black type producer through her horses. A lot of the horses I've tried have been out of her dams of her Outdoor. One of them coming up shortly, one of the good ones. I don't remember this one going round. Mini Singer. Mini Singer, a horse born in 2011, sired by Lonro out of 7 Aid Rose. So this is a half sister to the dam, half brother, sorry, to the dam of our horse. Mini Singer raced 5 times according to this, 2 wins and a second in his first 5 starts for career earnings of 67,845 Australian dollars. I think after the 2 videos yesterday, we're going to assume they've raced a few more times than that, and they've just not been any good. I think if they do well, people update them, don't they? It looks. Mini Singer in his first 5 career starts was actually placed second in the Group 2 2015 Caulfield Autumn Classic, held unsurprisingly at Caulfield. So on his day, he was a fair horse. Just nothing really seen of him through. I don't think this is updated enough since 2015, according to this. But yeah, he was a Group 2 placed horse at his best. Mini Singer. Entertains, a mare born in 2010, sired by Street Cry out of 7 Aid Rose. So again, we're getting very close now to our horse, aren't we? Entertains raced 14 times in her career, 3 wins, 2 seconds and 2 thirds. 7 out of 14 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of 98,760 Australian dollars in her career. Entertains, she went a little bit better. She was actually second in the Group 3 ATC Aspiration Quality in her career at Randwick. She did manage to scrape a little bit of black type, and as well, she's a black type producer. For a horse that went round in France that I backed a couple of times, Ego, a horse born in 2018, sired by Invincible Spirit out of Entertains. Ego, up to this point, raced 18 times in his career, 7 wins, 2 seconds and a third. 10 out of 18 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of 224,920 euros in France. This horse won some races. A dual Group 3 winner. The horse won the Group 3 Prix de Saint-Oise and also won the Group 3 Prix de Palais Royal. Again, over 7 furlongs. This horse did win the Prix Arcana, though, a listed race over a mile at Deauville, and also winner of the Prix Matcham, as well as being placed, and also won at 5, the Prix Savane, a listed race at Chantilly on the all-weather. So this horse has won 5 pattern races, dual Group 3 and a triple listed winner. Again, though, we're struggling to break that Group 3 barrier, aren't we, on this line? Even with the horse that we've got, it's no better than a Group 3 winner. This one could be deemed as speculation, this video. Really, looking at it. It'd be interesting to see how this horse gets on, won't it? Ego has had a good career, though, in France, trained by Andre Fabre. Second dam of the horse, 7 Aid Rose, a mare born in 2002, sired by Stravinsky, out of Rose of Tralee. You'll see there, we've moved on to the second dam of our horse. 7 Aid Rose, 19 times in her career, 8 wins, 3 seconds and 2 thirds. What can you say about her? 14 out of 19 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of 1,773,635 US dollars, according to that. I'm sure she raced solely in Australia. There you go. The horse is a classic winner. The horse won the VRC Oaks of 2005. She also won the Group 1 Wakeful Stakes. She also won the Australasian Oaks, which is a race at Morphettville. She also won the Group 1 Storm Queen Stakes, second in the Group 2 Wakeful Stakes. So she won the race as a Group 1 and a Group 2. And she also won the Amanasco, second in the CUNY and the Manfred, third in the Australian 1,000 Guineas of 2005 and the Turnbull. Champion 3-year-old filly in Australia, the second dam of our horse. This is what we want to see for a classic horse, isn't it? Star of the 2005 and 6 3-year-old fillies division. Winning the VRC and the AGJC Oaks. What a career she had at 3. Second dam of our horse, and hopefully, she's passed on some of her classic nows onto our horse. I did find a couple of horses related between the next two dams as well. Wonky is a gelding born in 2012, sired by Stravinsky again, out of a Rose of Tralee. So this is a full brother to the second dam of our horse, isn't it? Yes. Wonky raced 47 times in his career, 6 wins, 8 seconds and 5 thirds. So 19 of 47 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of $235,185 New Zealand dollars in his career. The horse had a reasonable career, placed in the Group 2 Rich Hill Mile of 2018, and the horse was also placed in 3 Group 3 races, the Eagle Technology Stakes and the Waikato Stud Plate at Ellerslie, and the J-Swap Sprint held at T Rapper. So this horse, a bit more pattern race form over to a mile, and a Group 2 placed effort. Wonky did well for their breeder, Sir Patrick and Lady Hogan, who also owned the horse for a stage as well. Star of Tralee is a mare born in 2008, sired by Zabil, out of Rose of Tralee. So again, we're on the same bit as the second dam of our horse. Star of Tralee raced 21 times in her career, 2 wins, a second and 2 thirds, so only 5 of 21 starts in the first 3. Career earnings of 17,825 and 8,565 Australian dollars, as well as 17,000 New Zealand dollars. Bit more stamina here. This horse was third in the New Zealand St Ledger, which is eligible for 3 and 4-year-olds, according to that. So it was either in 2011 or in 2012. This horse was placed in the listed New Zealand St Ledger. Not many St Ledgers being covered on Classic Watch at that level. Black Type Producer, though. I remember this horse going round the back here. I think it ran in the Melbourne Cup. Charlie Rose, a mare born in 2016, sired by Tavistock, out of Star of Tralee. Charlie Rose raced 20 times in her career, 6 wins, 4 seconds and 2 thirds. 12 out of 20 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of 908,000 Australian dollars. Charlie Rose managed to win 2 Group 3 races, the Lord Reen Stakes and the Geelong Cup, as well as winning the listed Bago Handicap, finishing second in the Bart Cummins and third in the Naturalism Stakes and the Heavily Stakes at Caulfield. You'll see there that horse, a bit of a sprayer again. We're a bit at the Group 3 level, getting a good idea of the level of this horse, aren't we? Green Spaces. The horse has definitely got to improve, hasn't it? We're finding a lot of Group 3 and listed winners, but not many classic winners, apart from the second dam, really. It'd be interesting to see, like I said, if this horse can do anything. But Charlie Rose certainly had a good end of her career. I remember her winning the Geelong Cup. That's for definite. The next horse we're going to take a look at is the next dam of our horse, I think, Rose of Tralee. Yep. Rose of Tralee, a mare born in 1995, sired by Sadler's Wells, out of Circus Ring. Rose of Tralee raced 24 times in her career, 4 wins, a second and 4 thirds. 9 out of 24 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of 45,395 Australian dollars in her career. Rose of Tralee was a Group 1 Black Type Producer, as we know, that we've just looked at the horses like Serenade Rose that managed to win the Group 1s, but again, no Black Type for the horse bred by Roncon out of New South Wales, but she did manage to get her head in front 4 times in her career. The next horses we're going to take a look at, I did find a couple related to the 4th and the 5th dam. Hadn't known much about them before I made this video. Lady Shipley is a mare born in 1986, sired by Shirley Height out of Circus Ring. You'll see Circus Ring is the 5th dam of our horse. Lady Shipley raced 7 times in her career, 2 wins, a second and a third. 4 out of 7 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of 51,755 UK pounds in her career. You see Lady Shipley is an English Stakes winner of the Park Stakes. Don't know what year that was, don't know what grade it was at the time. For her breeder, Snailwell Stud, we're going to say is the owner as well. Another one I found is this horse here, Ellie Ardensky, a mare born in 1992, sired by Slip Anchor out of Circus Ring. Ellie Ardensky raced 14 times in her career, 2 wins, 3 seconds and 2 thirds. 7 out of 14 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of 31,252 UK pounds in her career. Ellie Ardensky, you'll see there, she managed to win, which is now the listed Up Avon Filly Stakes, another English stakes winner on the line. I'd say probably one around the 1996 or 1997 time, another one bred by Snailwell Stud, who seemed to do quite well on this line at this stage. 5th dam of the horse, Circus Ring, a mare born in 1979, sired by High Top out of Belsong. At the stage of the Circus Ring, had 4 starts and 3 victories for a total career earnings of 53,994 US dollars. And that is, she won 3 out of her first 4 starts. She won the Group 2 Lowther Stakes, Group 2 winning 2-year-old in 1981. And she also won what is now the Group 3 Princess Margaret Stakes as well. She was the champion 2-year-old filly in England. And you'll see there the Grand Dam of Serenade Rose, the great Grand Dam of champion Hong Kong galloper Viva Patica. She sadly died on the 25th of November 2009 at Cornwall Stud in Australia. So yeah, we've got the dams of this horse quite interesting, aren't they? You know, we've got the outdoor that didn't really do a lot. We've got Serenade Rose, their classic winner, Rose of Charlie, black type producer, and Circus Ring, the 4th dam, Group 2 winning 2-year-old, winner of the Lowther. Got some interesting dams on our horse. It was then I noticed the dam line of the horse 19B, and I checked my list on my spreadsheet, that I noticed that Circus Ring was actually also the 4th dam of Ylang Ylang. Ylang Ylang, a filly born in 2021, sired by Frankel out of Shambolic. Ylang Ylang raced 9 times in her career, 3 wins and 1 third. 4 out of 9 in the first 3 for career earnings of 77,300 euros. And what have they done there? We're going to say 236,577 UK pounds in her career. Ylang Ylang was the Fillies Mile winner of 2023. She also won the Group 3 Silver Flash Stakes as well, as finishing 3rd in the Rockfell. At 3, the best she could manage was 4th in the Group 1 Matron Stakes, in what was quite a disappointing career for Ylang Ylang at 3. But she was a Group 1 winning 2-year-old. She certainly got the job done at 2. And I've already done a video on Ylang Ylang, so what I can do is I can include the Ylang Ylang video as a card here. And that will enable us to not really look at a few horses and move the video forward a bit quicker than it would have done had I not watched it, had I not made the video. So what I will do is add the card, like I said, to the Ylang Ylang video. You'll see there, like I said, Circus Ring is the 4th dam of Ylang Ylang. Other horses we can take a look at really were on the historic dam line that we found. 19B, you'll see there that if we go back to Circus Ring there, look, 1979, she is actually on the site. So it was quite easy to find our position on the historic dam line. There's even a Czech Derby winner there of 2011, sired by a whipper called Roche's Cross on this line as well. But you can see there that there is other Oaks, Arc, and Derby winners there that we can take a look at. Viva Pasica, a gelding born in 2002, sired by Marju, out of Comic. Viva Pasica raced 50 times in his career, 18 starts, 5 wins and 9 thirds. So that's a few, isn't it? 8, 27, 35, 34 times out of 50 in the first 3 for 83 million and 32,000 Hong Kong dollars, as well as 122,586 UK pounds in his career. This horse started in the UK as comic strip, trained by Mark Prescott, and then moved to Hong Kong. You'll see there that in Hong Kong, the horse was pretty unbeatable. The horse won the Hong Kong Gold Cup, the Hong Kong Derby, the Hong Kong Cup, the Champions and Chaser Cup twice, the QE2 Cup, the International Cup Trial, which is a Group 2, Group 3 that year, and they also won the Group 3 Shartin Trophy. Second in one Hong Kong Gold Cup, another Hong Kong Cup, Champion Chaser Cup. Second there in the UAE race, Dubai Shima Classic. It didn't just race in Hong Kong. And you'll see in third, it was in the Stewards Cup as well, the QE2 Cup. I think it was even pattern quality in Great Britain, but they don't seem to have mentioned that. A very good horse it was, Viva Pasica, though. Retired from racing in June 2011. Very good horse. Athens Wood, a horse born in 1968, sired by Celtic Ash, out of a dam called Belle of Athens. Despite somebody doing an awful job of updating this horse, they've given us any any record of victories or prize money or anything. They have actually included that the horse did win a classic. It won the UK St Leger of 1971. Horse also won the Group 2 Voltager, the Group 3 Gordon, and the Solario Stakes at 2. So this horse had a good career, Athens Wood. Can't tell you how many other races it won, because the person who updated the information has done such a terrible job of updating the horse. That's what happens when you let the public update your upload your website. You know, lazy. They're not lazy, just cheap. You know, why don't they just pay somebody to do it? Tony Bin is the next horse, a horse born in 1983, sired by Kampala, out of Severn Bridge. Tony Bin, interesting horse. 27 starts in his career, 15 wins, 5 seconds and 4 thirds, for career earnings of 1,189,885 UK pounds. This horse had a very interesting career. 24 out of 27 starts in the first 3. I'm going to say it's an Italian horse. Looking at the races it won the Arc, Group 1. The horse also won the Gran Premio del Jockey Club Italiano, Group 1. Won 2 Gran Premio di Milans back in the day when Italian racing was treated with the respect it deserved. In the Premio Presidente della Repubblica, the horse won Group 1 twice. The Premio Ellington, Group 3. And the Premio Federico Tessio, Group 3 as well. Multiple Group 1 winner in Italy and Arc winner. Champion older horse in Europe, exported to Japan for stud duty, and was also a leading sire in Japan between 1989 and the year 2000 at Shadai Stallion Station in Japan, before suddenly dying in 2000 of heart failure. Very good horse, Tony Bin, in Italy, it's fair to say, and Europe, Arc winner. Must have been a good horse. Not many horses win the Arc. One a year. Dibbydale, a mare born in 1971, sired by Aggressor, out of a dam called Pretty Maid. Dibbydale raced 12 times in her career, 3 wins, 2 seconds and 3 thirds. 8 out of 12 starts in the first 3, and she was the winner of the 1974 Irish Oaks. She also won the Yorkshire Oaks, dual Group 1 winner, as well as the Cheshire Oaks, and at 4 she was 3rd in the Jockey Club Stakes and the Hardwick as well. Split her off for Paston, sadly, in the Geoffrey Freer Stakes, and was put down later in the month. Trained by Barry Hills in Great Britain, Dibbydale had appeared to have won the Epsom Oaks as well before winning the Irish Oaks, until her saddle slipped 2 furlongs from home and she lost her weight cloth. After finishing 3rd with jockey Carson riding bareback, she was disqualified, well she would be, for not carrying the correct weight. Very interesting that would have been to see. All these horses that we've looked at here, really, apart from the first one, the Hong Kong horse, go back a lot further to a horse called Campanula, that you will see was born in 1931 and won the 1934 UK 1,000 guineas. You know, you'd have looked, if I've kept them open, you'll have seen that Campanula is about the fourth dam of Circus Ring, isn't she? Yeah, the fourth dam of Circus Ring. So she's in the pedigree of all those horses that we've looked at as well. As well as this horse is as well, which will enable me to add another little card, Narrativo. It's a colt born in 2021, sired by Adlerflug out of Nicella. Narrativo's raced 9 times in his career, 2 wins, 3 seconds and 2 thirds. 7 out of 9 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of €166,500, racing in Germany and France. This horse actually went off a favourite for the 2024 German Derby. The horse won the Group 2 Union Rennen at 3 in 2024. It was nearer last than first in the Derby, but then finished placed in 2 Group 1 races, the Grosser Price von Berlin and the Grosser Price von Baden after that. It was also second in the Group 3, Price to Winter Faverton at 2. At 4, I was expecting better than what he did. He only managed 1 second place in the Group 2 Grosser Hansa Prize. Hopefully they keep him going, because I do think there's more wins to be had out of this horse, Narrativo. We discuss his dam line and look at a lot more horses as well in a video. So what I will do is I will add that video as a card as well as the Ylang Ylang video, and I can add the Narrativo card as a video, which I will do now. And then we can move the video forward a little bit quicker. What I will do is I will close down some tabs now to hopefully save on CPU. And we can watch the horse Green Spaces win the Group 3 Spring Stakes held at Newcastle on his last start, which took place on the 15th of November 2025. I thought it was a very good performance on the day, the first time I'd seen the horse. And I was looking forward to watching the horse again after that. That hasn't changed. You know, I thought the horse won this day with plenty in hand, but let me bang on about the race after we've watched it. That makes sense, wouldn't it? So let's have a watch of the race, and then I will tell you what I think of the horse.
The joint favourites as Verity now moves in. So Verity's ready. The light is on. We're ready now for the Spring Stakes, and they're off. Rosa Encounter blew the start by 2 lengths. And Bird Whistle jumped sharply together with Probability Theory. Long Legs is out wide. Hetzendorf pushing through. Grand Prairie pushing through. And Green Spaces will park behind them. A couple off then to Grey Nor in advance of Pinot Nero, who settles back in the field. A gap to Ratify from Verity. And Rosa Encounter is about 4 lengths behind the second last horse. She's that far back she can't hear the band playing from there. Bird Whistle in front. Long Legs eventually got up on the outside, and Long Legs is serving it up to Bird Whistle into the first corner. Hetzendorf just dropped back 5 lengths in third. Grand Prairie tugging along on the inside of Probability Theory. 2 lengths to Green Spaces. A gap in the field then to Gay Nor as they start the run down the side. We've got Pinot Nero on a wide path. Clear then from Ratify, Verity, and Rosa Encounter is now tacked on. Well, Long Legs work to get to the front, and Tyler Schiller let this race 3 lengths clear approaching the turn. Long Legs from Bird Whistle, Hetzendorf and Probability Theory. Grand Prairie being wound up on the inside, and coming to the outside as Green Spaces into the straight, and Long Legs has done a lot of work, and Grand Prairie's being roused along giving chase. Clear from Bird Whistle, still 2 further back to Green Spaces. At the 200, Long Legs a narrow leader, but Green Spaces is closing in now with Bird Whistle. Grand Prairie can't get there, but Green Spaces has bounded away, and here's a big win in the Spring Stakes. Green Spaces won it by 3. Bird Whistle second, ahead away third, Long Legs, followed by Grand Prairie was disappointing. Probability Theory next. Ratify run on well. Further back to Verity, Rosa Encounter. She blew it at the start from Gay Nor, and Hetzendorf was one of the last to finish, and a big gap back to Pinot Nero. Green Spaces winning that comfortably. Trained by Björn Baker and Rachel King in the saddle, coming right down the outside, going past Long Legs, who's done a lot of work up front with Bird Whistle, and I think Bird Whistle's grabbed second in front of it in the wash-up. Time is 1:36.
I thought that horse won that race easy. You know, it just swooped past them, didn't it? Looked to be in a different league to the Group 3 race that he was contesting that day. Like I said before we watched the video, he just come straight down the middle of the track, and one going away. He could have won by 5 lengths if the race was another furlong further, wouldn't he? There was just no other horse getting close to him in the race. You know, I thought that was a very eye-catching performance on the day, albeit only in a Group 3 race. You know, the horse has obviously got plenty more to find if the horse is going to be competitive in these Australian classics. They take some winning. But the horse is a colt. You know, that's one thing he's got in his favour with me. A lot of these second season Australian classics last season were full of geldings. You know, so it'll be interesting to see what crops up in them this year. Is this horse a classic horse? Well, to be honest, I don't know. You know, that's half the fun of it, isn't it? You know, trying to predict if they are. You know, people have to stay in front by being able to predict what horses are going to be able to do before they do it. And I think that there is a chance that this horse is better than what it's shown. You know, the horse has won a Group 3 comfortably. You know, I've proven to you, I think, quite closely that there are good horses quite closely related to this horse, like Trekking and the Second Dam. And historically, the dam line is sound. You know, at its top level of this dam line, this horse is a classic horse. Where in the final analysis this horse will fit in remains to be seen, really. You know, the horse has been fairly inconsistent, hasn't it? It hasn't really. It's not a battle-hardened horse. That was its first pattern race victory. There'll be a lot of horses that have raced in a lot more pattern races than him lining up. Be interesting to see how the horse progresses. You know, I'm looking forward to this one because, like I said, I thought that Group 3 victory was very impressive on the day. Right, I think I can think about leaving this video here now. Thank you very much to everybody who has joined me to watch the video. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. What I will do, as I always try and do, is I will leave you a copy of the Classic Watch 26 Possibles playlist at the end of the video. That way, if this video hasn't been enough for you, you can whet your appetite by looking at a lot more of my Classic Watch Possibles in the Classic Watch 26 Possibles now. And also what I will do is I will give you all an opportunity to subscribe to the channel as well. If you subscribe to the channel and you enable your notifications correctly, YouTube will tell you every time I upload a video to YouTube, and that way you will not miss any of my videos. Doesn't help me in any way, shape or form, really. You know, it helps you, and it helps you make sure that you don't miss any of my videos on YouTube, that is. Don't forget the Patreon Newman Racing as well. You know, just search for it on Patreon and hopefully you will be able to find it. But for now, I think I'll leave this video here. Thank you very much to everybody for watching. What we got coming up this week? Well, like I said yesterday, I'm looking forward to some decent racing in Australia overnight. I've seen it's the Hobartville Stakes, and I know that's a decent night's racing. So hopefully, I think it's the Cape Derby in a fortnight or so, maybe the 28th of February, or maybe even this weekend out in South Africa. I'm hoping to get a couple more South African horses on the website, at least. There's only one at the minute. But yeah, I'm watching plenty of horses. They're all falling short, so I'll keep them to myself, I think, at the minute. If it's all the same to you lot. Right, at the moment then, I'll bid you a very fond farewell. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones, everybody. I hope to be back shortly with another video of some sort. But for now, take care, everybody. Look after yourselves, and goodbye.